Welcome back. This is Monterey County Open for Business, and Monterey County is definitely open for business. We're so fortunate. We've got tons of events and people who work on events, and a lot of nonprofits that are so dedicated to day-to-day getting things done and making our area so much richer in environment and in experience. So one of my absolute favorite people on the whole planet, and who I've worked with on a lot of things, and if you talk to her, she's usually involved in more things than you even realized, is Ellen Martin, who is the Executive Director of First Night. Ellen, welcome.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
So, you and I have been kind of kicking around together a long time.
You've been a great supporter of First Night Monterey.
So, First Night is 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe it?
No. I remember when Paulette came into town and pitched it, and I think I was on the old Monterey Business Association board, and I listened to it, and I brought her over. I was at Comerica at the time, and I said, okay, that's it. So we gave the $5,000 seed money for that first year, and honestly, I've never looked back. It's one of those things that I look at like, okay, I did a good thing. This is still going strong. So thanks to people like you.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, it is an honor to be affiliated with First Night because of all the things that we do, not only on New Year's Eve, but all throughout the year and throughout the county. But Paulette had a vision. First Night started in Boston as a New Year's Eve event to bring families together instead of all the drinking and all the things that were happening way back 35, 40 years ago. So First Night grew. The city of Monterey got behind it. Dan Elbert was the mayor. You helped by that seed money and then other companies coming on board. And so the first celebration, as we call the New Year's Eve event, happened, and it's been going strong now. We're so happy to be able to celebrate 25 years of bringing families together in Monterey to celebrate the new year and to have that special day, you know, a transition from afternoon to evening, from year to year. And for me, and my background is producing large-scale events, this event, people, families are so happy, having so much fun. I've never been affiliated with an event where people are so joyful, and that's really such a pleasure.
Well, I think one of the things that I was so impressed with and continue to be impressed with, it starts at, 3 in the afternoon, but there's so much activity, and you see parents and grandparents downtown having fun in Monterey, not home thinking that they just have to get ready to go out to get crazy for New Year's Eve, but they're doing things with their kids and making it. I see all the activities of making the crowns and making the masks
and the hats
and the
crazy hats.
Yeah, and then it just feels good. It feels good, and then now I think is fun because you see people who were parents who took their kids who are now grandparents taking their grandkids. So.
Right, and then the children that now are the parents bringing their kids, and then seeing the grandparents take the kids and the parents staying on, but you know, none of it could happen without the support and the encouragement and the funding from the city of Monterey. They see the value of bringing people together, and First Night has all kinds of free activities for those 9 hours. And then, you know, I have my button on today that says staff, and we buy the buttons. People buy the buttons, and then those are indoors. So we typically have about 22 sites, about 78 performances. We have a procession, all kinds of, we kick off the afternoon with our kids' night out. And then throughout the year with our outreach that we do in the community, the culmination is First Night. So we bring all that art that we've made and those children, youth, and their families to First Night. So it's all year round that we're working towards this one night. But First Night has developed into other things because of the need to generate revenue, and to keep our outreach going. So, for example, this summer in Monterey, we have an art camp, and it starts at the end of June and goes through the end of July. Kids can come from 1 week or 2 weeks, and then we have a big art show on Fridays, and we frame some of the artwork. Some of the activities that we have are kind of maker-type projects. Boys and girls really like to make things, and it's a big thing. So we do that. Sometimes we come up to Pacific Street and paint some of the old historic buildings, on canvas. So it's like diverse activities for all the youth. But one thing I always tell the kids is, no matter if you're going to be an accountant or a banker, you want to know perspective, to be able to sketch something, to sketch out an idea. And those are some of the things that, we're able to give the kids during that week. And they come back and come back. We've gotten rave reviews on our summer art camps. And we had a spring art camp that we had just last month when some of the children were off for spring break. And in Greenfield, we have a summer camp that we do. We're going to be painting a mural this summer. So that's targeted towards youth that are in middle school, and it's a free program. It's funded from the Community Foundation, the Arts Council, NEA, the California Arts Council. So we get funding for some of our outreach through our partners, Hardin Foundation. So we're really fortunate to be able to keep those free programs going and be able to give to communities that might not have any arts.
So, Ellen, I think you're one of the most creative people I've ever known in my entire life. And not only just thinking things up, but you're a doer. And I so admire that and appreciate it. The summer camp, how many kids can you take?
Well, some of the weeks we take about 15.
Okay.
When our last session, we take about 25 or so, but it's split off. There's 2 different sessions where we'll take from 11-year-olds to 16-year-olds, and then we split them up. So we'll have 2 teachers. And it really works because then what happens is the older youth, the teenagers, will mentor the younger kids. And so it's really a great collaboration. And then we'll have different projects. Last year we did self-portraits. So we had 3 different projects geared to the different ages. And it was quite an accomplishment. And I think that the younger, looking at what the teenagers were doing, were aspiring that, I can do that, next year. So it was really great.
That's good. It's really good. I think that was one of the surprising things, I know, to my husband, was how much year-round activity First Night is involved in. That it's not December 31st and we're done. It's so many things that build up to December 31st, but it's also so many more services that are throughout the year in this community, and I think that's important.
Well, thank you. Community Foundation at the downturn of the economy kind of challenged all the nonprofits to start revenue streams, and that's when we started the art camp, because we have a great facility in Monterey at Archer Park. And then we also developed another program called First Night Productions. So this year we're producing a 4th of July in Greenfield with the City of Greenfield. And we're working right now with the City of Spreckles, which is an unincorporated district, to produce their event. It's been going on for 46 years and the volunteer firemen are no longer. And so we're working with their board of directors and going to try to keep that going so that they can take it on in the next year. So we're doing other things to keep us active, engaged in the community, and helping other nonprofits. That's how we got involved with doing the Greenfield Harvest Festival, which is the third Sunday in October, is that the city of Greenfield was like, that has to go away. We don't have the money during the downturn of the economy. So we went, and the James Irvine Foundation with NEA came in and helped us with support and funding. And since 2010, we've been able to keep that going and working with the city of Greenfield. So, you know, one of our missions is to bring the community alive through the arts. And so I think First Night Productions helps us help others keep those free community events going in their cities.
Well, I also think it's important because I know in the first night parade, I think in the 4th of July parade, you have some of the native dance troupes. They're really, I think that's really important, that it's a cultural diversity, and it starts, and I hate the term lettuce curtain, I can't stand it, but it allows people who are from a different community to come to a community that they might not be in every day, just because we all get busy. I call it, I've got my flight path and you've got yours during the day. But I think it's important that it really, you've crossed the barriers and you are allowing people from Monterey to see some of the cultural activities that are coming out of the Salinas Valley and vice versa. And I think that's really important.
You know, one of the things that was very impactful for me at the Harvest Festival is I asked the taiko drummers and I've asked the Chinese lion dancers to come and participate at the Harvest Festival. And the Chinese lion dancers, some of those migrant workers had never seen that kind of performance, and they crave it, because they don't get to come to Monterey and all of the events that we have ongoing every weekend that are free to the community. So celebrating our cultural diversity, all of it, even our Irish singers and dancers, I think is really important. That brings us together. It brings understanding and acceptance and joy.
Absolutely. I think it's good, and it's great for the kids. It's unbelievable for the kids. So now I know you're involved also with the production of on July 1st. You are on the board of the Old Monterey Foundation. And Bill Witkowski was here earlier. But do you want to just talk about that again? I want to make sure people understand that that's really, I think, such an important piece of our culture and our history.
Well, I am the co-chair of the July 1st event. It's a fundraising event, but it's also free activities to the public. But I joined the board of the Old Monterey Foundation because I thought it really was a very good thing for Monterey and a good thing for First Night to be part of also. But we have an event called Pirates in the Park, and it's really picnic in the park. And we want to be able to showcase that beautiful, historically significant park that's at the Lower Presidio. People don't realize it, but you can go and it's free. You can get into the Lower Presidio. The city of Monterey has the lease on that property, and it's got views of the bay. So we are going to have an event where we'll have some live music, some really great folk and rock and roll. We'll have face painting, all kinds of scavenger hunt for adults and scavenger hunt for kids. We'll have pirates. We called it Pirates in the Park because Bouchard came. He was a pirateer. They call him, not a pirate. But he came to Monterey and landed right there. And he burnt down Monterey except for San Carlos Cathedral. And next year will be the big celebration. In 1818, he landed in Monterey. So next year will be the big celebration. But so we kind of took off on that, and so we'll have food. We encourage people to bring their lawn chairs, their blankets, and I believe it's a really great way to kick off the holiday weekend on the 4th. So we hope that we can really develop that park to have more events. I do as an event and music planner and producer, but to really showcase that park. And, you know, the San Francisco Presidio has an event on Sundays up at theirs called Off the Grid, and it's really fun. I've gone up there, and I've always envisioned that we would do that maybe up in this park. So it's July 1st. It's 11 to 3. Walk up, ride your bike up, bring your car. It's for the entire family. We'll have about 4 food trucks, music, scavenger hunt, and then we'll show where the trails are that we're developing, the signs. There's all kinds of statues and monuments up there. That's very interesting, and I won't talk about it because I might get it wrong. But I really encourage everyone to come up on July 1st and enjoy the beginning of a really great holiday in the city of Monterey.
Terrific. I like that. So first night, what do you need from the community right now? You're starting already to plan it and
Yes.
gather it.
Well, right now we are have a call for volunteers to help us with our food booth. That's at the City of Monterey's lawn party. We're also going to start building a float. And so on our website, firstnightmonterey.org, you can get that information. So the food booth is kind of a fundraiser for us and to get our name out. We'll also have all of the posters that the CSUMB Design Communications class, they have a competition within the class. And I go, and Susan Britton goes, the president of First Night, for so many classes, and we work with them to develop the image. And then we allow the public, and that'll be up on our website in another week or so, to vote, and we'll bring that to the 4th of July. This was the winning image from last year. And so it's a great partnership with CSUMB. So that'll be on the 4th. And then I am on the Executive Volunteer Steering Committee at Concourse, and I chair the Retro Auto venue. So First Night gets volunteers, solicits volunteers for that event, and then we receive a donation from the event. So we have that up on our site now. It's a great way. You and Hal always come, and
You can sign us up.
I've got you signed up. So when Jerry Seinfeld and a couple of the other comedians come and talk at our speaker series, that you'll be out there front and center and helping us with that. So there's lots of ways that you can help. We're looking for we're doing board development now. So it's a great way to get involved in the community. If you love the arts, you love Monterey, you love Monterey County, and you want to be involved with youth, it's a great way. And then we're always soliciting funds. We're just going to kick off our 25th year celebration, our sponsorship drive, and so that's up there too. So we got a lot of things coming down the pike.
Good. Well, Ellen Martin, I can't thank you enough for what you do for the community. No, everyone sees you as the executive director, but having been on your board, I know how hard you work and how much over and above and beyond what the expectations are. So thank you. Thank you. So that's First Night, Monterey.org. You can go on, and there are all kinds of volunteer opportunities. There's a little button you can donate. And if you want to have a more in-depth conversation of how to get involved with lots of things in this area, Ellen Martin is a terrific resource. So this is Open for Business, Monterey County. And we're going to be open for business for a long time, but we also want you to know what all there is to do here. So I will see you next time. I'm your host, Mary Ann Leffel, Monterey County, Open for Business. Thank you.